This
The
is like some Jewish
situation in
guy.
Israel and is also all over the world. We see people protesting against Israel and supporting Palestine. The people who protest can be divided into two groups. The first group are migrants who escaped the Middle East and do not want to live there anymore, and they decided they want to live in a civilized world. Unfortunately,
Come on now. See, she's a preterist, right? So she's trying to fit the mark into the story of 70 AD. So she says this. Like, dude, come on, man. So now you're gonna actually look for something like that, like something that you have no evidence for, and nobody has any stories like that or anything like it. But you're gonna look for that. Why? Maybe it has nothing to do with that. Maybe there's nothing. Like, I don't know, man. Anyway,
who escaped the Middle East and do not want to live there anymore, and they decided they want to live
just remember, these people in Palestine, not these people, the people in the West Bank, well, Gaza anyway, the people in Gaza, it's majority young people, right? Majority under 18, all right? And the Israelis have killed tens of thousands of them. And also it's like since it's mostly civilians too. And it's wild, dude. I'm telling you, that is literal genocide. What they're doing is literal genocide.
in a civilized world. Unfortunately, they are not satisfied
Yeah, I'm not saying there's no evidence that they invaded Palestine. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's no evidence of this idea that there was some kind of thing against selling or buying and selling and take a mark type of thing. Oh, sorry, that guy. I'm sorry. My bad.
live in the Middle East and do not want to live there anymore, and they
Oh, really?
decided they want to live in a civilized world. Unfortunately, they are not satisfied very long with this land that they escaped to and received haven from.
Okay. But if that's the case, so what does that mean then? They cannot. They can no, now they're going to hell. They cannot believe and go to heaven. Is that what you're saying? I don't know. Just be careful with the what kind of symbolism you try to read out of that. If it is symbolic, then we don't really know what it means. You know. It's on their right hand actions and the forehead dots. Not saying it means that, but just saying it says buying and selling doesn't make it not literal. I don't know. I mean, I think it's symbolic, but I just you gotta get something has to come from the text, though. Yes, it's symbolic, but the text is saying something for a reason. You can't just come up with stuff on our own.
With this land that they escaped to and received haven from, and soon they want to enforce their religion on everybody and change the democratic process. So that's group number one.
So okay, so that's what he's saying. The Palestinians. I guess he's. I think he's trying to say the Palestinians are trying to change the politics. What? I
People
don't think so.
protesting against Israel and supporting Palestine. The people who protest can be divided into two groups. The first group are migrants who escaped the Middle East and do not want to live there anymore, and they decided they want to live in a civilized world. Unfortunately, they are not satisfied
So I guess he's saying that the Middle East is uncivilized. Really? Is Iran? Is Iran not part of the Middle East? Or I guess Iran's like Western Asia or something, right? So the Middle East is like Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Yemen, those type of countries, Qatar or Qatar. And I guess he's saying those are all uncivilized because they're not first world. I guess that's what he's saying. But Israel is civilized. But of course, Gaza and the West Bank are not civilized, I guess. I don't know what
to
he's
live
saying.
in a civilized world. Unfortunately, they are not satisfied very long with this land that they escaped to and received haven from, and soon they want to enforce their religion on everybody and change the democratic process.
So this is the thing. That's what he was saying. Now I understand, like Muslims as a group, like the group of Muslims. That's kind of sometimes said about them, that they'll go to some country, and as their population increases, they start to make more and more demands politically, and they try to get their kind of way of life to be installed onto wherever country they live in. That's been said about Muslims in general. Okay. But to say that about the Palestinians, these people are protesting for Palestine. They're not protesting for Muslim domination of their country or whatever, right? But anyway.
So that's group number one. Group number two are mostly young people who have never been to the Middle East and think they understand.
Wait. Mike, what was the ideology that allowed people of Gaza to go into Israel and slaughter civilians? The ideology. What are you talking about? October 7th? Or are you talking about something else? It was a centuries old hatred of Jews. Centuries old? Is it really? Because before Israel was established, right? The Jews that lived in Palestine, they lived peacefully with the Palestinians. There was no hatred of them. They didn't have some centuries old hatred of the Jews. It was only when they established that state, Palestine, that's when they started to hate them, because of course you would hate them because they kicked out millions of people, or I don't know how many, it was 1.5 million in the Nakba, and then also they have them in this kind of like basically like a prison in Gaza. It's like, I don't think there's a centuries old hatred that motivated this violence that we see now, because like I say, Jews lived peacefully with the Palestinians for centuries, for millennia almost, right? Without any kind of thing like this. But now they have this. The idea that this is just, oh, this just happened because they hate Jews. They just hate Jews. They're Muslims. They're crazy Muslims. They hate Jews. Well, they kind of don't like the Jews, but maybe, I mean, I think it's more because they totally, they're basically genociding them. That's why. Oh, sorry.
The Middle East, but in fact, they do not.
I'm aware of this. I'm aware of this.
What is happening?
I'm aware of this, Elian. I'm not trying to say this is not what this discussion is about. We're talking about Palestine and Israel today, and the Muslim ideology that might be in the background of some of these people, or even more, most of them. That's not really the case. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about, like who deserves to be there and who deserves to have that land and stuff.
In Israel. And the best example of this is a protest that was done recently in front of the Nova exhibit in New York. The exhibit showed the tragedy of October 7th.
Wait, look, listen, guys, listen. I'm sorry. I understand that the Quran is a wicked document that tells the Muslims to kill the Jews and the Christians. I get it. Okay, I get it. But that's not what we're talking about here, okay? And these things are not relevant to what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is, why are the Palestinians fighting the Jews? And who's the one that's more aggressive and killing more people and being more like of a genocidal psychotic thing, psychopathic thing? And it's more the Israelis, believe me. Okay, I'm not even saying, like, I don't even hate Jews. I don't care about Jews, or I love Jews, but clearly the state of Palestine, state of Israel is wicked and evil. So is America. So is Canada.
In front of the Nova exhibit in New York. The exhibit showed the tragedy of October 7th, where hundreds of people lost their life, were injured, and lost somebody close. So in a moment of great pain for the Jewish people, the protesters were shouting, "Free Palestine," and "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." And the ironic
So
thing
wait.
about
So now I don't know. I don't trust this guy. Like, he's trying to say that these type of protests, these people were saying, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." on October 7th or October 8th or something like that. Is that what this guy's trying to say? I don't is this true? I don't remember this. I don't remember this. Maybe this is true. I don't really remember. I feel like okay, October 7th happened and then the war started and then the Palestinian like the protest started a little bit after that. I don't think it all happened on October 8th or something like they're just celebrating the death of all those people. Israel's not defensive at the moment, dude. They're not defensive like snipering little kids and bombing hospitals. It's not true. But why did they take their issues to the court? Well, think about it this way. Now, right now, Netanyahu and Gallant, the defense minister, right? They've both been convicted in the ICCJ. Okay, they have been not convicted. Sorry, excuse me. They've been indicted for war crimes by the ICCJ. That means that if they go to some country that is a signatory of the ICCJ, then that country has to arrest them. Netanyahu and Gallant, okay, the defense minister of Israel. But there's countries all over the world who are signatories of that thing, who, if Vladimir Putin went to their country, they would arrest him immediately. But if they're literally saying, the politicians out there are saying, in Europe, for instance, many countries there, they're saying that they would not arrest him, you know? This is what I'm saying. Those courts, although Palestine is, in fact, actually the legal, like they're the ones that are more in the right in those courts, okay? Like the ICCJ are like West Bank settlements are completely illegal. That's been known ever since they started it, right? So the idea that Palestinians are the ones who are the war criminals or something, it's just not the case. Maybe Hamas, maybe. Proxies of Iran and Israel have both caused so much harm. Yeah, that's true. All the nations, honestly, I can't support any nation anymore. Pray for Jesus Christ to return now. War sucks. Yeah, that's true. I don't support any state. That's true. That's true. What he's saying here is true. The governments of our world are truly evil, whether you believe in the Illuminati or not. You don't know Hamas. Look, Hamas is Hamas, okay? Hamas is Hamas. The tens of thousands of civilians that have been brutally murdered by the Israelis since then, and the neighborhoods and the buildings and the places and everything that has been completely destroyed. Is that Hamas? No, it's not. It's Palestinians, and they're mostly, as I was saying, mostly under 18. Okay, you got to really think about this. What you're talking about here. I'm not saying. I'm not even trying to say like you need to like hate the Jews or anything. I obviously don't. Right? I don't think you should hate the Jews. I'm just saying this is absurd. Like I'm just saying what this guy's saying is not true. Or anyway, it doesn't sound true. I don't know. What he's saying right now is like on October 7th, they started doing this protest, Palestinians saying like from the river to the sea. Is that true? On October 7th or something?
October 7th, where hundreds of people lost their life, were injured, and lost somebody.
Palestinians were parading where? Where were they parading? In Palestine or in this country? Or where were they parading? In Gaza or in the West Bank? Or where, what are you talking about? In the refugee camps? Where were they doing this parading? I don't know what you're saying. Maybe it's true. I don't know. I don't remember this. In Palestine? Okay. So in Gaza or in the West Bank or both or what? I don't remember this. I don't really know. But anyway, maybe it's true. I don't know. The day of. Okay, well, whatever. You know what? Listen, you know what? If you're trying to say that means that it's okay for them to, bomb the civilians of Palestine, well, it's not. Because the fact is, these people have been occupied for like 70 years now or something, right? So yes, I mean, look, if somebody comes into my country, right? Let's say somebody came and invaded Canada, right? Then I would not feel like I would feel like, yeah, violent force is permissible to remove these people who are trying to conquer my country, right? And so if the people of Palestine, and I'm sure many of them don't support Hamas, right? But many of them do, and it's because they don't feel like Israel has a right to exist, and they have a point. I'm not saying maybe you think they do have a right to exist. That's fine. I'm not saying you're an idiot or anything. I'm just saying that it's not right to just say, oh, well, they were celebrating. Well, yeah, there's a war going on. You know, they got invaded. They're being occupied by these people. They're being like left in this place. It's like a prison. They live in a place that's a prison. Their place, Gaza, is like a prison. And now Israel is just like making all these like they're making these like they're like laneways through it and stuff to the sea. Like it's really crazy, right? What's going on right now? I don't believe mainstream news. Are you mental? You're the one who believes mainstream news. You actually think that it's because Hamas hides in the hospitals. That's why they bomb the hospital. Because Hamas is hiding there. Israel's legal. Thank you for not saying I'm an idiot. You're welcome. I don't believe in an eye for an eye, but there's not. This is not eye for an eye. This is war. Like they feel like they're occupied. They're being occupied by an invading power. All right, they consider themselves to be a state. You know, and so they feel like they're being occupied by an invader. Anyway, let's watch this video.
So, in a moment of great pain for the Jewish people, the protesters were shouting, "Free Palestine!" And
all right. You know what? Maybe you're right, Elon. Maybe they were parading in Palestine, but this is not Palestine, right? This is like New York or something, right? So were they doing this in New York on the day of October 7th? That would be absurd. If they did, then okay, that's really shameful. But that still would not justify what's going on there. Well, let's see what he's saying. I guess this video, I don't think this video is really about, I don't know what we're going to learn in this video. Let's see.
River to the sea, Palestine will be free. And the ironic thing about it is that the majority of the people gathered there have no idea what river and what sea are we talking about. Some of them don't even know what are they protesting. Here is a good example of that.
Videos, and I don't know if all
that was my exactly thing. That was my thing about it, Elian, because when he said when he said that thing about how they're protesting or they were saying river to the sea on October 7th, and maybe you're right, maybe they were having a parade in Palestine or whatever, I don't know. But when he showed that, when he was saying that, he's showing them in New York. So it sounds like, they're protesting all over the world and they're having parades and stuff. No, it's not true, right? I mean, if I saw a parade in Toronto over the bombing of civilians in Israel, I would just be like, that's so shameful that I would be against the Palestinians, at least the ones that protest and stuff, you know? Can I come in 5 minutes? Dude. Anyway, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. I'd like to recommend Traveling Israel for info. He's a historian. All right, I'll check it out.
Joining the crowd, I want to know if they actually understand why they are protesting and see if they can give me any good answers. What are you guys out here protesting for?
No comment.
Why are you guys out here today?
Speak to the organizers.
Why can't I wanted to ask you.
Official statements from the organizers only.
You guys chanted from the river to the sea?
Yes.
Okay, which river, which sea?
The sea of...
So you don't know that? No. The answer was the Mediterranean and the Jordan.
So it looks a little bit like this parody here of two people totally disconnected from the reality and not understanding actually what are they supporting. Because if they understood it, they would know that the people they're supporting would kill them instantly for who they are. That's
so this guy's saying, this guy, I don't know who this guy is, right? This guy is Israel, my channel, okay? And what he's saying right now is that the people that they're supporting, I guess, look, I mean, look, I guess he's talking about these type of people, like these kind of like LGBTQ people. And so I guess he's claiming that Palestinians would just immediately kill them because they're LGBTQ. That would just be the immediate thing that they immediately do. As soon as they see LGBTQ people, they just kill them, right? That's what he's kind of claiming right now, right? But when we saw these people before, these people are not LGBTQ. Is this guy LGBTQ? Would the Palestinian guy just kill this guy just because of who he is? Is that true? No, it's not. So typically, this is what these, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to generalize, right? But what I've seen in most cases, right, when people try to support Israel, right, they do this kind of argument, which is ridiculous. Now, I understand a lot of the Palestinian arguments are kind of weak too, but not in this way, not like this so extremely dumb. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Okay, 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 okay. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 Studying the Bible with Mike and Pat. These other YouTubers are just so trash. Hit the thumbs up if you want to support. Go follow Mike as he follows the Lord. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 You better watch out, Mike's calling out the shills. If you're not free grace, you need to sit down and chill. We're not hyper grace, you know we keep it real. Eternally secure, you know that we're sealed. We don't back low, we're not workspace heretics. Mike's not in it for the money, trying to get a lick. They out here selling their souls for a couple clicks. Becoming Freemasons so they can't just get rich. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 Shout out to Mike and Pat. Check out his channel, Toronto Bible Study. Subscribe and like.